Okay, so welcome to Throwback Thursday, and I wanted to start by talking about one of the toughest period of times in my life, which was when I was a freshman at Harvard. And I actually haven't even talked about or thought about this for years, but I think it's important for me to share tough times in my life so that way if there's some of you who are going through tough times or discouragement, maybe I'll help see that if you just keep pushing on, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I had been so excited to go to Harvard. It was my dream my whole life. But one of the hardest things was that I actually had to deal with a lot of hate, especially I was always raised when you leave the house, you do your hair, your makeup, and I really loved clothes and getting dressed up. That's just what I've always done. I literally got hate emails from my fellow classmates like, we're here to learn. It's not a fashion show. How do you wake up every day and put all that shit on your face? Girls literally attacked me and asked me why I cared about the way that I looked, that at Harvard we care about intelligence, not things that are superficial. And I always wondered why it had to be mutually exclusive. Like, why can't you care about the way you look and like to get dressed up and feel good about yourself, but also be academic? And I always just wanted to be myself. I mean, why did I have to like and dress the way that everyone else did? And so for all you girls out there that are getting judged or bullied for the way you look or the way you dress or the way you do your hair, just rise above it. I've literally had someone tell me, girls like you don't become doctors. Why don't you just be on TV or be someone's trophy wife? So if anyone is trying to belittle you, be condescending, or put you down, do not let them do that to you. Do not give up your dream. And then the most horrible thing that happened was actually in the middle of finals. My best friend committed suicide, and it was in a horrible, violent way. And because I was the last person to speak with them, I had to file the police report and go through all the graphic details. And I actually was sent home in the middle of finals just to recover and get over the trauma of what happened. And it was really, really hard for me going back because literally I had nightmares. But my parents were so supportive, and I ended up taking the rest of my finals that I had missed in the spring. But then just before my finals, I got a horrible kidney infection. So I was literally hospitalized for a week, hooked up to IVs, just before I had to take my makeup finals. And it did not go as well as I hoped. And literally I almost gave up. I mean, I felt like, oh my God, how am I going to get my GPA up? How am I ever going to be a doctor? I thought everyone was right. But I found it in me to be determined. I didn't want everyone who told me I couldn't do it to be right. And it was my passion, and I truly believed it was my destiny to be a doctor. So I retook all my classes. I got my GPA up again. I did a ton of extra work, research. I published in scientific journals. I just worked so hard to be able to get into medicine. And I think because of that difficult time, it actually pushed me to do extra, to be over ambitious, to do more. And I actually overdid it from overcompensating. I mean, I just did every possible thing with my resume, extra classes, teaching, extra. And so I think the thing I learned from that is even if there is a hard time or you don't do as well as you hoped, that time can actually make you better. And sometimes in life, you can have these crossroads where you just get disappointed and you give up, or it makes you better and you push harder. And because of that horrible time that I was able to pull through, it gave me the confidence in the future to be able to get through other challenges. So you just want to make that a pattern for yourself, because life will always give you hard times and obstacles. And if you just have the confidence and get used to pulling through. And so each time you face those challenges, you'll just keep getting stronger and stronger, more confident and more determined. So for those of you out there going through a hard time right now, do not give up. You can totally do it. I've had hard times. Everyone has. What will allow you to pull ahead and be successful is just not giving up and just know that you'll be able to get through it and be even better. Okay, so that's it for Throwback Thursday, and really fun surgery tomorrow, lipo with BBL, and then I'm operating on Saturday, breast, aug, and labia, my favorite.